Hello, my name is Brian Casey, Editor-in-Chief of AntMini.com. We're here at the 2019 edition of the International Society for Magnetic Resonance in Medicine here in Montreal. We're here with Dr. Tal Arbel. She is with McGill University, and she was one of the speakers in today's talks on machine learning and MRI. Dr. Arbel, thanks for being with us.
Okay, thank you.
So you gave a really interesting talk this morning about some work that your group is doing in the use of machine learning for multiple sclerosis. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are doing?
Sure, yes. So my group has been working for many years in the area of machine learning in general for a multitude of different applications. Today I talked a little bit about the case study of multiple sclerosis, where I showed how machine learning methods can be used for detection and segmentation of lesions in patients' brain MRIs, and I showed how it can be used for a number of different applications within that domain. So detecting and segmenting lesions in T2 images, also gadolinium-enhanced lesion segmentation, as well as looking at lesions over time and detecting new and enlarging lesions.
And how? What's the clinical challenge that this work is trying to address? Like, how is this work being done currently?
So usually the MRI reports are not very accurate and precise about these. These are all new lesions over time, as well as gadolinium-enhanced lesions. These are markers of new disease activity and are very important for determining treatment efficacy. So approaches that do things manually or semi-manually are quite inconsistent, and it's very time-consuming and hard to do. So we've developed these machine learning methods, which are probabilistic machine learning methods, and they address all of these problems, and our methods are used within the software analysis pipeline of our industrial collaborators, where we have access to huge amounts of clinical trial data from pharmaceutical industry, and these tools are being used in order during the development of new drugs. And so pretty much all the new MS treatments out there in the world have been developed by using our software, some of our software tools that we've talked about today. I talked a little bit also about some work that we do in deep learning for this particular context, and how we embed uncertainty in the results. So that work really shows that we can also provide the clinician not just with the label saying lesion, non-lesion, but also the system states when it's not really certain, and that permits the radiologist or the clinician to review the results and have an idea of how confident the system is in its outputs.
Okay, great. Now, is this something that we could see being used clinically all over, or is it something that's mostly for drug development right now?
So we, of course, we have access to huge amounts of data, both through this collaboration, but also we have data through this International Progressive MS Alliance grant, where we have the first federated data set of patients with progressive MS and their MRI and clinical information. So that's 40,000 scans that we're hoping to get together. So with that data that I have access to, then I can start to do some deep learning with big data and do the sort of development that is required. But we are looking into saying, how can we transfer this to the clinic with all the challenges that brings up, with missing modalities, with messier data, and so on. And so that's something that we're looking at now.
Perfect. We'll look forward to seeing that.
Okay, thank
Great.
you. So the other thing I just wanted to say that we are working quite a bit on is to predict future disease activity in terms of lesional activity in MRI, as well as predicting disability progression in patients with MS. So this is something that we're working on now, which we're quite excited about, where deep learning will be very, very helpful.
And this is where you could say this particular patient, based on these MR scans, has a higher risk of progressing and developing more lesions.
Yes, so two different things. They will develop more lesions, but also we're predicting that they're predicting their future disability scores. So, for example, how will this patient progress in terms of their disability? Okay,
and that would be really useful for clinical care.
Yes, and also we're looking into sort of opening up the black box to figure out what are good MRI biomarkers that are predictive of future progression in diseases like MS or other diseases as well.
Very good. Well, Dr. Arbel, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Signing off for AntMini.com, my name is Brian Casey.